So for those that don't know, Vince Staples just put out his debut album on Def Jam through No I.D's, the legendary producer, through his imprint. The album's called Summertime '06. It's a double album. It's a challenging album. It's a difficult album, but it's also a beautiful album and an amazing album with different amazing moments. And there's a lot in there, as anyone who's listened to it knows. He's saying a lot. There's a lot of messages, so it's going to be great to talk to him about some of that, and that's what we're going to do today. So let's bring out Vince Staples. What's up, man? What's going on?
I'm chilling, bro.
How's it going?
Living life.
All right. So Summertime '06. When people hear that album title, they might think of things like, oh, summertime, like, the Fresh Prince song, barbecues, going to the beach, being out for school, having ice cream cones, things like that. But tell me what Summertime '06 actually really meant for you.
Nobody my age is thinking about a Fresh Prince song at all.
My age though.
You old though,
Yeah.
it was different. But I don't know, man. It was more in the process of thinking about making an album, because debut album's a turning point in your life, so to say. So you have to look for references that kind of relate to that situation. And that was a turning point in my life. So we decided to kind of theme it, go out with it. So it was more based on what the album was supposed to be than, a distinct moment that happened at that time period. Right.
But tell me about what summertime was like in Long Beach, where you're from.
It was cool, man. I had fun, It's just not the best place to be at times, but that's everywhere, Anything can happen anywhere, but it was more about the mood and like the mind state that we were in at that kind of point in time.
Right.
That was kind of the main focus of it, because that was a kind of important insight on, why I do the things I do and things like that.
Right. Because the album, you mentioned that it was fun, but at the same time, the sound of the album, it's not like necessarily a fun, feel-good album. Like that doesn't mean it's not entertaining and enjoyable, but it's not like it's not like Fresh Prince Summertime is it's not like that song. That's not the vision of it. So tell me about why is it so dark like that? What were some of the things that happened to you at that time?
It's not even about this time. Like, we live in America, bro. Like, it's not the brightest place. We pretend it is. It's all nice and stuff while we, go to other people's countries and kill them and stuff like that. But
yeah.
Life's not that bright of a situation. We mask a lot of the things that go on. I try not to do that with certain things, but it more signifies, a feeling of power than a feeling of, sadness in a sense, because if you look at where we come from,
yeah.
We control things through power and fear. It's the power of fear. That's kind of what the whole album is about. Like, at that point in time, I understood the power that you get from having somebody be afraid of you. Right. And that's why that album sounds like that.
Right. And there's no, there's not really, I think if anything that can kind of sum that up in some ways is the video for Senorita. Have you guys seen the video for Senorita? I assume you all have. And, in the video, there's a group of people walking around and they are sort of dying randomly. Could you tell me about the vision behind that video and how it came together?
Ian Palms Jewel, who's absolutely out of his mind, is this director from the UK, and he was trying to do a video, and he had sent like 4 or 5 treatments, and we didn't like them, just to be 100% honest. And then he had read, he was like trying to figure out why we didn't like any of his treatments. And then he had watched some videos and read some interviews, and he got that from something I said in the interview once. I think it was with Pitchfork or something like that. Basically stating that, like, when it comes to entertainment or just in general, the way people look at urban structures and things like that, that is all like in the sense of entertainment. Like, it's like the zoo, because you got the birds at the zoo, you got like the sheep and all the nice pleasant stuff. But when you go to the zoo and you're a kid, you want to see like the lions and the bears and things that can actually hurt you. And it's all fine until one of those animals escapes and hurts somebody. But you look at like a Gucci man who you listen to his music all day and it's about all this negativity, and he goes to jail, but he's wrong for it, when in the sense that's what you liked him for. Same thing with like the dude from the Migos that just went to jail, and everybody who gets in like with all this drug addiction and things like that. We take advantage of where people come from and their situations, and kind of their story in a sense that in a way that we shouldn't, because it doesn't affect us. As soon as it affects us, and us being, the people that don't have to worry about those things, 'cause I don't really have to worry about them anymore, so I include myself in that. People that don't have to deal with that reality, it doesn't go outside of the TV screen or, YouTube or World Star or whatever you might view things like that.
Yeah, right. And at the end of the video, I mean, for everyone who has seen it knows, basically after this scene of people dying, at the end it zooms out and it's just like a zoo, and there's like a white family watching all this. So let me ask you, when you think of who's listening to your music, it kind of speaks to music and hip hop and black entertainment, and so who do you think your music's for, and what audience are you reaching?
You ever been to these shows?
I have.
It's like 80% white people.
Yeah.
No matter whose show it is. YG show, A$AP Rocky show, Tyler Creator show, Migos
Right.
show, Rick Ross show. It's all white people.
Right.
I mean, them tickets is expensive, so
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Tickets, parking, and gas money.
Right.
Certain people can't afford to go to those shows.
Right. Does that make you feel a type of way, or
Not really. I mean, it's interesting.
Yeah.
But it doesn't bother me.
Right. Yeah. And there's not, fitting in with the mood of the album, which, like you said, there were a lot of difficult things that happened at the time. There's not really like a party single. There's not some kind of feel-good single or like some celebration or anything like that. It all stays very much in this kind of pretty dark mood. And did you feel any pressure to, from the label or from anyone or even from yourself, like, oh man, I got to come with like the party single or this kind of song for radio?
Nobody makes you do that. That's a lot. Nobody has to do that.
Yeah.
Nobody makes you do that.
Right.
The dude that you see him in the yellow shirt, that's who says yes and no. Does he look like he says no?
Right.
They don't. You can do
He's
whatever you
smiling
want.
right now, so yeah, he's probably.
You can do it. If you make one of those, they'll make fun of you.
Right.
I'm being honest. Like, you'll get made fun of in office.
Yeah.
They make fun of the people that
Right.
do stuff that they're not supposed to do.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
at the end of the day, like, who cares, man? Like,
Right.
everybody's not supposed to do the same thing. It's
Yeah.
already people doing that. I don't have to do that.
Right. And do you think that also says something about where hip hop is at right now? Because J. Cole put his album out with like 2 weeks notice, not really a single beforehand. Kendrick kind of did something similar. They both sold all these albums. It seems like there's hip hop in some ways is going back to the album, and it's not as much about this big single. And people, at least this year, people are making these like grand statements. Because to me, your album is like a statement.
I mean, honestly, they were going to do that. They were going to sell those albums regardless.
Yeah.
You're not talking about regular people. You're talking about like Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole. They were going to do that regardless. It didn't matter how it came out or who was on it. They were going to do that regardless. They've already built that fan base, but they're at a higher level, so where those things are easy. It's not really the norm, because no one's buying music unless you're them or Drake.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's buying anybody else's stuff, and that's just where the world we live in nowadays. But I mean, it is getting better in a sense, just because from an artist standpoint, it's less gain from it as far as money and notoriety and things like that, because there's so many people. So the people that do it kind of do it for the right reasons. But I think that's really the only thing. But you can't tell me if J. Cole would have had a single, his album would have done horrible. Like, it would have been the same regardless.
Right.
They've already built their fan bases, so you can't really do much to take that away from them.
Right. You were reluctant, supposedly, or from things I've read, you were reluctant coming into music. It wasn't like something that you were chasing. It was actually a lot of people being like, "You're good at this," and kind of convincing you to do it. Between that and like what you said, people aren't buying albums. What motivates you? What motivated you to put out this album?
I don't know, man. The people around me, responsibility. You get older, you got stuff to take care of. But I'm not a big attention seeker, so it's not. I don't really care about that aspect of it. But you just gotta help people, man. You got a voice. You might as well do something with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
A lot of people don't get a chance to have one.
Well, so is your message are you more trying to express yourself, or are you trying to get that message to other people, like you said?
I don't know what I'm doing. When I figure out, you'll be the first person I tell, I promise. But
Yeah.
man, when none of us know what we're doing, man, we just living every day. You try to figure it out and pretend we know, but we don't really know what we're doing, man. It's all one day at a time with me.
Right.
Life is life, man. No matter which job you have, so it's I'm rolling with the punches.
Right. Well, what would you be doing if you weren't doing music?
Nothing. Yeah, absolutely nothing.
Right.
Get in trouble,
Yeah.
all the bad stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I appreciate it so much.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't graduate or, I never had a job or any of those good things. I don't have a really stable situation prior to me as far as my family goes. So I probably wouldn't be doing anything, to be honest with you.
Right. Right. And so what was the moment when you were like, all right, I'm going to leave that stuff behind and just concentrate on music?
It's not really about leaving it behind because you're not supposed to leave behind. That's not what it's not. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to try to fix it or figure something out. Like if you leave it behind, who cares? Like, you don't mean anything once you do that. And what are you doing it for? Like what is there to leave behind? People? Like is that what you're saying? We should leave people behind? Wither away and die? That's not cool to me. I'm never gonna leave that behind.
Right.
I'll leave behind making bad decisions because it's all based on decisions you make. But why would you ever leave, where you come from and the people that you came from it with for your own benefit? Like that just kind of says a lot about the kind of person you are.
Right. Yeah. There's moments on the album, a few moments on the album where you have like encounters or talk about encounters with police and things like that. And I'm wondering if all these things that honestly have been going on all along, but now there's more publicity, all these police brutality cases, the whole spate of them, if that's influenced the making of the album at all and the message you want to get across at all.
Nah, man, I don't care about the police, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
They don't scare me. Like, they don't come where I live. They don't, if even if you need them, they're not gonna come, so they'll come to mess with you on like a bad day, give you a probation violation or something like that, but nah, man, my music is inspired by life in general, so of course that is a part of life, but I think that's like corny to be like, oh, the cops just killed somebody, let's make a song about it. Like, what are you gonna do with that money you make from that song? You gonna pay for somebody's funeral? No. Are you gonna do anything outside of yourself? No. So,
Right.
like, we made that. People always say that because of Hands Up, but we made that song like probably literally like a year and like a couple months before that even happened. It was on another beat that Ill Mind sold to Mobb Deep. It's a song called Murderer, and that's why we didn't put the song out.
Right.
So we had to wait to get a new beat.
Yeah.
And it just happened to be around the same time period.
Right.
But like I think it's not cool to, take advantage of someone else's situation, especially like a loss, like for your own gain. So like I wouldn't say it was inspired by someone's loss of their life, but I mean if it happens and it happens to be in a song, it's probably a very strong coincidence. So maybe that's a serious problem. That's
Right.
just the way I look at it.
Yep. And you made your acting debut in Dope. You guys get to see Dope? Did everyone see it yet? Or really good movie. Anyway,
You like that movie?
I like the movie. Yeah, and
That's crazy, man.
yeah.
That's good.
And I didn't even realize you were in it when I was watching. I'm like, that's Vince Staples.
It wasn't me. It was a character that I played because I'm amazing at. I'm on screen.
Yeah, yeah. And the funny thing, your music to me is so serious, but the character is kind of like your character's kind of funny,
Man, listen, man. You can't be the same all the time, man.
Yeah.
Nobody's mad all day. Nobody's sad all day or happy all day. It's not real, but
Yeah.
people think I'm crazy though. Like, I don't know why, but I'm wild or something like that.
Yeah.
Crazy shit.
So are there going to be other acting roles in your future?
Yeah, I'm gonna be in Baby Boy 3D.
Oh wow, it's amazing.
And some other stuff, man.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Wait, Taraji, is Taraji going to be in that one?
Nah, she's on that one show that's. Never mind. Yeah, she on that one show.
Yeah. No, but seriously, are you trying to do other roles, or was this something that you kind of fell into?
Yeah,
or,
man, you get more money
Yeah.
doing it than doing this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Straight up. Yeah.
Until, they start streaming movies and stuff, then we screwed.
Yeah.
But, why not?
Right.
You only here once. You might as well, have a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
Could be over quick. So make the most of it.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people associate you, are from your early work with Odd Future, but to me, your music is so different.
Right? It's crazy, right?
It happens,
Yeah, man, it happens to the best of it.
But how do you think your music is different than theirs? And do your fan bases cross over at all?
Everybody's fan base crosses over. It's the internet.
Yeah.
Like, it's all on the internet. It doesn't belong anywhere else. You can have a person with 5 million Twitter followers who can't sell out a 300-seat venue.
Yeah.
Because it's not real in real life. It's all based on the internet. It's a lot of people, but it's all scattered out. So, of course, people's fan bases overlap. Like, music is the cool thing right now. People listen to music. It's like a pastime. popular pastime, as sports was at one point in time, and skateboarding, these other things. Dance was like they used to have. You Got Served was a movie, like because people was dancing. Like it's weird how culture shifts, but I mean I don't know. I think my music is different from everybody's, and not in a bad way or a good way. I'm not better or worse. It's just it's everybody's different, man. It's not supposed to all be the same.
Right.
I think that's where we got kind of lost. Is when everything started to become the same.
Yeah. Now, why did you decide to make the album a double album, which is definitely an
Because we had a lot of
thing?
songs.
Yeah.
We had a lot of songs.
Right.
And I think deluxe albums are stupid.
Yeah.
It's like, here's an album. Here's $5 more. You get 2 songs.
Right.
Like, you might as well just give them all the songs.
Yeah.
It was cool though. I mean, it helped the pacing and the kind of the interpretation of it, so to say. So
Yeah.
why not? It's there, you know what I mean? So we just want to give people more songs. Like if you make a 10-song album, you made 15 songs. We had like 22 songs. We didn't use one of them for sample clearance, and one of them we never finished. So
Yeah.
we literally put all the songs on there.
Right. Well, it seemed like you had a lot to say too.
Nah, not really, man. I'm getting kind of boring nowadays.
Right. Well, compared to that one. So who inspired you? Like, what music inspires you to do what you do? Because your sound is so singular and unique.
I don't really, none really. I don't really think about it in that light. Like people kind of get offended at the music I listen to, which is kind of weird to me. But like people really get mad, like, "How you listen to that trash?" and yada yada yada. It's like, I don't know, man. I don't really get inspired that much by music. Like life is so much going on out here that you can draw from. Like why draw from another person's music? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I try not to get too caught up in that.
What are some of the things you listen to that people get offended by? I mean, damn.
I'm not gonna say that because then it seems like I said something mean. But
Right.
you know why you asking questions you don't know the answer to.
Yeah. And you're a big basketball fan. I mean, I've heard you go off on length about that. So what do you think about the finals?
It was cool. It was cool. That's how it made sense. It made sense.
Yeah. Who was your team? Who were you rooting for?
Out of those two,
Yeah.
I didn't really care who won. I wanted J.R. Smith to win while faded, because I don't think anyone's ever won a championship while faded. Like in that,
I wouldn't be too sure, but yeah.
I'm not talking about a little bit of good sport drug. You know what sport drug is? I'm talking about J.R. Smith was off the Hennessy and like some mid during the whole final. So
Yeah.
I was trying to see how that turned out, but
That'd have been good.
poor LeBron, man.
Yeah. What about LeBron? I mean, what's next for him? I mean, I think he's still good. He's still gonna. It's still fine, but he can't take a whole team on his shoulders. Excuse me.
That's his fault.
Yeah.
Nobody told him to go over there. He'll be okay. He got enough money, man. He'll be all right. Shout out Lambo. Lambo helped him. Lambo and Mom raised a good dude, man. At the end of the day, they kind of kept him on his toes. And, those Sprite checks is good, so he'll be fine.
Right. So tell me about the next album. Back to music. What's your next album going to be about? Have you started working on it yet, or?
Yeah.
Corey said it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost done.
Well, because the last song on this album is almost like a little preview of what's to come, right? The last song on this album is almost like a preview of what's to come.
I don't know, man. You never know.
Yeah.
It's crazy how that happened, though, right? Things happen crazy nowadays, Maybe you just have bad Wi-Fi.
Because it does just cut off like that, Yeah.
Got a bad download.
Yeah, man. All right, we're gonna get into some audience Q&A.
I've been a big fan of you since Hell Can Wait. I downloaded it a couple months ago.
That's a good place to start. Don't
Yeah.
go back.
I'm good with that. And, I've obviously seen some interviews, with you and Earl, obviously, starting early with Odd Future. But what are the chances of you possibly doing a collaboration album, even with Earl? Or
I promise you it's like a 98% chance that will never happen.
All right.
With anybody. Like,
Nobody?
Nah, man. I'll be by myself, bro.
I'm cool with that.
But I feel you, though. I feel where you coming from.
Appreciate you.
But that, I don't know, man. Probably not. Unless the check is crazy.
Hey, I just have a question. I've been a fan since when I heard you on Earl's thing. Like, yeah. How was it working with like James Fauntleroy, like the songwriter?
He's very high,
Really? I didn't expect him to be like.
very,
Oh.
like very, very.
It, could I expect like anything with him in the future?
See, this is how you work with James. He'll be like, "Hey, do this song," and he'll be like, "Okay," and then he'll send you. You know how big a terabyte is?
Oh, sorry, say again?
Do you know how big a terabyte is?
No.
All right, so you got an
Oh.
Xbox One?
Yeah.
So like
I'm in PlayStation 2, PlayStation
okay,
4.
so listen. So it's like 7 Xbox Ones full of music. He'll just send you that and be like, "Pick something."
Oh, okay.
So he has like, how many songs do you think James has? Chavez. 10,000. He got like probably like tens of thousands of songs that are like done. And he'll just
wow.
be like, "Here, pick one." That's how you work with James Fauntleroy. So
Oh, and can I ask one more question? All right, I'm going to the Double XL concert later. And I just want to know, like, out of all those, who are your favorites? Like, who would you listen to?
Fetty Wap.
Oh, okay, all right.
So I saw in an interview you talked a little bit about Ray J, and it seemed like maybe you had some more, like a more thought out idea of Ray J's influence on the entire world.
I don't really think things out. But you know, maybe not. You never know.
Could you maybe explain your Ray J theory a little bit?
Hell no.
Hi, Vince.
What's up?
So I've been a fan since your mixtape, and I know your birthday is coming up. What do you plan on doing?
I'm gonna be on an airplane.
An airplane the whole day?
Europe is far, man.
Is that ideally what you like to do, or what would you want to do for your birthday?
When I was in the second grade, and I had this friend named Eric, and he had a birthday party, and he gave like little invitations and had a little address on it, and he had a party. That's when GameCube was popping, right? His dad owned a McDonald's, and he just had the whole McDonald's like rented out, and we just had GameCube and burgers and stuff like that. And after that, I never want to have another birthday party because I knew I couldn't top it. So until I can do something like that, I'm cool on birthdays.
What's up, Vince?
Hey, bro.
So my question was, what did you? So the last track on the first disc, "Summertime '06." I know you sang on that, and like I don't think it's like a typical thing for you to sing on records. Like, what really moved you to do that, or what was the inspiration?
Because I wrote it and SZA was supposed to sing it, and then she was on tour, so we kept it.
Chill. Are you going to be at the Earl concert on August 22nd in the city?
Nah, I can't be. I think I have another show or something like that. It's his fault though because he got sick on tour last time.
Yeah. Like, what was that?
He gets sick on tour sometimes, man. You gotta stop smoking in backwoods, man. It's really bad for you.
Hi,
Hey,
I'm Jossie.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Vince. My first question is, clearly a lot of people are listening to you, you know what I mean? Like, what do you want to achieve with the platform you have now? Think about it long and hard.
I don't know. I mean, just get some understanding. I mean, because it's crazy. Like, if you just even think about, we live in a fucked up place.
Okay.
Like, it's wild out here, man. Like, it's so much separation.
So what's one thing you'd want to change then with your voice?
I personally don't like most of it, so a lot of things need to be changed. But I mean, it's too many misconceptions amongst people. Like, everything that we think about people, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, is based off something we've seen that has nothing to do with it. Like, no one takes out the time to ask anyone who they are anymore, or what they believe in, or what do they think. It's all based on what we see. Like, whether it's from the fucking internet. Like, it's funny. Like, you know how people argue in my Instagram comments all the time, right?
Right.
And then people always say crazy shit like, "Oh, you live over here. You're trash. Look at your Abby. Look at this. Look at that." Like, why do these things matter? All the wrong things matter in this world we live in. It's about money and how cool you are. And somebody who's not cool at all prints the money in an office and they give it to us and make us pretend it means something, and then we throw everything else out the window.
Right.
So I mean, I don't know, man. We just need better understanding of what's real and what's not in this world, because you know, we care about the wrong things. Like even with the Troy Ave situation, like people were making fun of Troy Ave in the most demeaning way possible because he sold 4,000 albums. But who cares?
He
what
sold
did?
albums. You ain't sell
But
nothing.
who, even if he sold none, who cares? Why does that
I
matter?
get it.
It matters because we're taught that the more albums you sell, the more money you have. And we weigh what a person is worth based on their money and not what they means. Do you know who the Ramones is?
The band.
All right, so you know what their logo looks like, right? You probably the T-shirts that everybody wears with the circle that Diplomats copied it.
I think I know what you're talking
okay,
about.
So
Okay.
put it like this: everyone either knows the name or the logo. It took them 50 years to go gold,
Really?
and they're known around this world. So what really matters? Does influence matter? Does money matter? Does how you help people matter? We don't know yet. But the problem is we try to perceive to each other the next man's worth based on something that we were told and not something we think for ourselves. So I don't know, man. It's crazy out here.
Okay, one more question. I'm sorry. My second question was about the screen door video. That
Yeah.
video is amazing.
Thank you.
Absolutely amazing. So I wanted to know, did you put that together? Was that an idea that
I put
you
all
made?
of them together.
Okay, so then giving that message, what do you want to change with that? Like you're talking about, you said that you made the album out of responsibility. So you have a responsibility, people who listen to you, your family, your city. So what exactly do you want with videos like that, with messages like that? What do you want to happen?
I feel like things like that just help the music be better understood. That way they can't be misconceived, I guess. That's what like the senorita videos for and things like that. So I don't know, man. It's easier for someone to understand where you're coming from if they can see it. That's how things work. You know what I mean? So it just helps the music be further understood. And, whatever people take from it, they take from. But at least they're taking something from it because we live in a time and place and age where no one takes anything from music. It's just, but musical teaches how to try to kill somebody. Musical teaches how to do drugs. Musical teaches how to value the wrong things. But that's about as far as it goes, especially in rap music in this day and age. So I think that's something I try to, stray from.